Welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. Hosea 13:9 reads, O Israel, thou hast destroyed thyself, but in me is thine help. It was Hosea's lot to be a prophet during a time when spirituality in Israel was in sharp decline. Ungodly kings had led the nation into worship of the golden calves Jeroboam had made and that of Baal. One of the worst characteristics of the worship of false gods is that it was often the gateway to gross immorality of every sort. This verse has been considered difficult of interpretation because of its brevity. Literally, it might be rendered, Thy destruction for in or against me, in or against thy help. Obviously, some words must be supplied to bring out any sense. Perhaps our King James Version expresses the thought Hosea had as well as any. So we have here the wail of the parental love of God over the ruin which Israel had brought on herself. And that parental love is setting forth Israel's true condition in the hope that she may discern it. Thus, even the grief at the terrible destruction wrought by unbridled wickedness is wrapped in a promise and a hope. His words invoke the still more wonderfully tender words that Jesus spoke as he looked across the valley from Olivet to the gleaming city on the other side and wailed, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how often would I have gathered thy children together as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Therefore your house is left unto you desolate. It is strange that people should need to be told, and that with great emphasis, the evil situation where they are, and stranger still that they should resent the discovery and reject it. This pathetic pleading is the voice of a divine Father trying to convince his Son of misery and danger. And the obscurity of the text is as if that voice was choked with sobs and could only speak in broken syllables the tragic word in which all the evil of Israel's sin is gathered up, his destruction or corruption. So in these few short words, paints in one terrible picture the essential nature of sin and the death of the soul with its wages, inward misery and unrest, outward sorrows, the decay of mental and moral powers, the spreading taint which eats its way through the whole personality of a person who has sinned, does not stop until it has rotted away every chance of happiness and hope. All of that and more is crowded into that one word which we have here translated, destroyed. All heaven must wonder at the folly of people who resent the love that would try with most caressing hands and tenderest love to reveal their ruin. It is stupid of a criminal to try to wrestle the officers who surround him, but that's wise compared to the person who is angry with God because he warns that leaving him is ruin. It is popular in many circles to treat Christianity as if it had made the mischief which it reveals and would gladly mend. And it is cruel kindness to conceal unpleasant truths. The fact is, the gospel is no more to be blamed for the destruction which it declares than are the flashing lights and signal alarms set to warn drivers that just down the road a bridge is out. Israel's destruction came from having turned against God, her help. Sin is suicide. God is our help, our only help. Getting saved and living for Him is love and blessing. His only relation to our sin is to hate it and fight against it. It is part and parcel of the beautiful mystery of the gospel that the love of Jesus Christ extends to those who have seen their dearest dreams and fondest hopes torn to tatters, who have lived far from Him and shaped the contours of their lives in wickedness. So long as life remains in the body, there can still be hope for salvation, as the thief on the cross found, as well as many others have in the ages since. The hope and prayer behind this broadcast is that it would be a means to help snatch from the devil's clutches those whom he has purposed for hell and whose lives he is busy trying to destroy. Have you talked to him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.